In the OSCE, you will rarely be asked to interpret the CTG by itself. On the other hand, you will have a scenario that the woman requires CTG and you will know it in your 2 minutes reading time, and that requires you to do the CTG interpretation. So in today's video, I'll show you how to do the CTG interpretation step by step using RANZCOG guideline and also the framework Dr. C. BRAVADO as well, which is widely used in Australia, and it used to teach the student midwives in the university in Australia as well. So by the end of this video, you will have a clear structured approach to interpret the CTG every single time. If you're new here, hey, I'm Julia, an overseas qualified midwife that migrated to Australia through the OPA pathway. I created this channel to share my midwifery experience in Australia and help international midwives prepare for their midwifery journey in Australia as well. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Dr. C. BRAVADO is a mnemonic that widely used in Australia for CTG interpretation. Each letter stands for a specific feature that you assess in a set order, and the order matters because it stops you from jumping ahead and missing something important. DR stands for determine risk, C for contractions, BRA for baseline rate, V for variability, A for acceleration, D for deceleration, and O for overall impression. Let me walk you through each one, and I will show a CTG strip as well so we can see the same picture. Determine risk. The very first thing you do before you even look at the CTG is asking this question. Why this woman is on CTG in the first place? What is the clinical reason? Common reason can be decreased fetal movement, antepartum hemorrhage, preeclampsia, she might be having induction of labor, she might have epidural, or she's on oxytocin infusion, or many other reasons. So the reason is really matters because it will tell you of what you are watching for and how concerned to be about what you see. Contractions. Before you start looking at the contraction or interpret the CTG, make sure that you check for paper speed first. Many hospitals using 1 centimeter per minute, which is more common, but some hospitals use 3 centimeters per minute. So make sure that you are aware and you check that before you read anything else. Then when you check for the contractions, the contraction will be at the bottom part of the CTG, as you can see here. So when you look at the contraction, you are assessing 3 things. First is how long that each contraction lasts. Second, how intense they are. Number 3 is how many contractions in 10 minutes window. If she is in labor, the good contraction pattern we need is 3 to 4 contractions in 10 minutes, moderate to strong strength, and duration typically 40 to 60 seconds, and adequate resting tone in between contractions as well. Baseline rate. When you look at the fetal heart rate baseline, the appropriate part to look for is when the environment settles. No contractions or other stimulations. The normal fetal heart in Australia is 110 to 160. If it's above 160, then it's called tachycardia. If it's below 110, then we call bradycardia. Variability. Variability is the fluctuation of the fetal heart rate, and it tells us how well is the nervous system of the baby is functioning, because it is the balancing of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Normal variability is a reassuring sign of a well-oxygenated baby. We can say that the variability is normal when the fluctuation is between 5 to 25 beats per minute. Increased variability is when it's more than 25 beats per minute. Reduced is the fluctuation between 3 to 5 beats per minute, and absent variability is when the fluctuation is less than 3 beats per minute. Accelerations. Accelerations are transient increases in the fetal heart rate of 15 beats per minute or more and lasting at least 15 seconds. It is a reassuring sign that tells us that baby is well oxygenated and the nervous system is responding normally. We can say that this CTG is reassuring if we can see 2 or more accelerations in a 20-minute period. Decelerations. Decelerations are transient decreases of the fetal heart rate below the baseline and lasting 15 seconds or more. There are 5 types you need to know. The first one is early decelerations. Early decelerations mirror the contraction, so it drops when the contraction starts and it goes back to baseline when the contraction finishes. This one considered as physiologically reassuring event and caused by fetal head compression, mostly happen in the second stage of labor. Number 2, late decelerations. Late decelerations start after the contraction start and go back to baseline after the contractions has finished. This one caused by the contraction and show us the sign of fetal hypoxia because the meaning is that the placenta cannot deliver enough oxygen to the baby during the contraction, and this one is a sign of non-reassuring feature and require urgent escalation. Number 3, variable decelerations. Variable decelerations vary in timing and duration. They don't follow any pattern of the contractions. It is a normal physiological response to the subtly falling of the oxygen and that associated with the cord compression. If just the variable deceleration alone by itself, it is okay to happen, especially in labor because of cord compression, but if it has some of the complicated features as well, then we're gonna be concerned. Number 4, complicated variable deceleration. So it is the variable deceleration that combine with other features as well, and that can indicate the increased risk of fetal compromise. When you see variable deceleration combined with these features, then it's called complicated variable. Number 1 is rising baseline of fetal heart rate. Number 2 is baseline fetal tachycardia. Number 3, reduce baseline variability. Number 4, if you see the large amplitude of the variable deceleration of 60 beats per minute or more, and or long duration of 60 seconds or more. If you can see smooth post-deceleration overshoots or slow return to the baseline fetal heart rate. Number 5, prolonged deceleration. Prolonged deceleration is a dropping of fetal heartbeat of more than 90 seconds to 5 minutes. It is caused by hypoxia, fetal hypoxia, and it is a medical emergency and require immediate escalation. If the fetal heart still continue dropping after 5 minutes, then we call it a bradycardia, which is also a medical emergency as well. Overall impression. So after going through all features, it's now time to summarize your CTG. So in Australian clinical practice, we classify as a normal or abnormal CTG, and then you need to know what you are going to do next. If it is a normal CTG and she's antenatal, she's not contracting, she's not in labor, then you can remove the CTG, document your finding, and explain to the woman of what you found. If it is abnormal CTG, you need to continue the CTG monitoring. You need to escalate to the team as well and document your findings and also explain to the woman of what is going on. In the OSCE, don't just describe the CTG and stop. Always finish with based on these findings. I would classify this as a normal or abnormal CTG, and my next step would be continue monitoring or we can stop monitoring. That final sentence is what shows clinical judgment and shows that you understand what you are doing. Now let's look at a CTG together and use Dr. C BRAVADO to interpret this CTG. So for example, this woman come in labor and she have a preeclampsia during this pregnancy. So now we can say that DR, determine the risk, is preeclampsia. She's having preeclampsia, that's why she needs this CTG monitoring. And then we move to C, contractions. So before you read the contraction, make sure that you check for the paper speed of 1 centimeter per minute or 3 centimeter per minute. And this one is 1 centimeter per minute. And now you look for the contraction. So the contraction lasts for about 60 seconds. There are around 2 contractions in 10 minutes. It looks mild to moderate, but you need to make sure with the palpation as well. And then you check for the fetal heart rate baseline. So make sure that when you check for the baseline, there shouldn't be any contraction. So as you can see from the arrow here, so it's around 130 beats per minute. And then you check for V, variability. Variability is the fluctuation of the fetal heart rate, and this one looks like normal, so 5 to 25 beats per minute of the variability. So we can say it's a normal variability. Next one is A, acceleration. So acceleration, you can see lots of acceleration here as a little mountain that go above the baseline and last more than 15 seconds. So that's can call accelerations. More than 2 in 20 minutes, which is good. And then D, decelerations. Is there any deceleration in here? Is there any late deceleration, variable deceleration, early deceleration, prolonged deceleration, or complicated variable? I cannot see any, so that's good. And then you come to the O, overall impression. So my overall impression to this CTG, I can say that this is a normal CTG, but I would like to continue the CTG because she's in labor and she have the preeclampsia history. Okay, and that is how you interpret the CTG based on RANZCOG guideline. Make sure that you summarize at the end and you know what is the next step you have to do. CTG interpretation gets so much easier in practice, and if you are using CTG in your current practice as well, which is really good, you just need to learn what Australians are expecting to see or what they are doing it here. When I have my FSEP training, they always teach us that to understand the normal CTG. So once you know that, okay, this is the normal CTG, and once you see something different, then you know immediately that it is the abnormal CTG. For further CTG study, I highly recommend you to download the FSEP app by RANZCOG. So FSEP stands for Fetal Surveillance Education Program. So RANZCOG provided that for education purposes, and I highly recommend. I feel like it is the gold standard. It is the Australian gold standard of practice and widely used in Australia. It is highly recommended by many midwife educators, and I also use it myself as well. Just whenever you forget something, you take your phone up and then you can just look from there. It is available in Apple Store for $1.99 or in Google Store for $1.49. Honestly, worth it. You pay for your OSCE for $4,000. This is just $2 investment, and you learn a lot in Australian standards. So totally worth it. And if you need some extra support or need someone to practice with, I offer a 60-minute private session that we can go through the station to build your confidence together and get you ready for the upcoming OSCE exam. The link will be in the description box down below, so feel free to check it out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching until the end, everyone. So hopefully this video is helpful and help you to see some picture about CTG interpretation in Australia. Don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and comment down below as well of what would you like me to cover next, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.